welcome back to Patty G DIY. On this episode, the third and fourth in this series on water remediation, or how to take care of water issues in and around your home. But before we get into this, let's go back to that last video clip. There's something that's just so rewarding about watching that clip. In episode 1, we started this project by replacing all the downspout drains with new Schedule 40 PVC. The other drains have been in there for 25 years plus. The thin wall PVC was shot and they really needed replacing. That solved a lot of our water issues. What you didn't see was me and my son Chris out there way into the wee hours of the night, trying to get those pipes covered before a predicted 5 inches of rain hit. More on that later. We didn't quite get it all buried, but we got it functional at least. In episode 2, you watched as we installed a series of French drains, over 140 feet to be exact. This was the largest DIY project I've ever attempted. And in the video you can see some incongruous, and in the video you can see the timeline doesn't quite match up, but this project took weeks for me to do. And let me tell you, I am so glad that part of this project's behind me. I'll post links to the first 2 videos in the comments section, or go look at my playlist. I created a playlist for this. In this episode, number 3 of 4, we're going to tackle the water issue from inside the house. Now, I said most of this stuff, 90+%, needs to be taken care of from the outside in. There are some things you can do on the inside. I'm going to use 2 products, both Drylock products. One is a hydraulic cement, and the other is Drylock Extreme, which is a latex-based paint-on waterproof. You remember in episode 1 we talked about water coming in from underneath the slab, through the porous concrete material of the slab, and coming in between the joint of the wall, the foundation, and the slab. This was because of the hydrostatic pressure behind the walls, and that constant pushing on the walls can cause you problems, but in this case it found a way in, so the pressure was relieved somewhat. All I had was a big mess in the basement. Hey, gravity works, man. It's the law. So we know the best fix for this problem is from the outside in, but hey, sometimes I wear a belt and suspenders, just in case. I also understand that not everyone can modify the exterior of your home, either due to HOAs, deed restrictions, or perhaps you're a renter. These products I'm going to talk about today can make a difference. Alright, let's go to the video. Let's start with Drylock hydraulic cement. It's a mortar-based product that's used to fill larger gaps and cracks. You can use it to patch interior or exterior mortar joints, cracks, and holes in masonry walls. You can use it above or below grade to seal leaks in concrete and masonry. Now, the label says it will even stop water under pressure, like we talked about. It claims to withstand over 3,000 pounds of hydrostatic pressure. I'm guessing that's PSI. It works on interior and exterior walls, and because of the polymers in the cement mix, it does not require a top coat to help seal out the moisture. Here's how to apply it. First, clean the area. I wire brushed the walls and floor, making sure I dug out any loose dirt or mortar. I was applying the Drylock to the bottom 2 blocks and the floor around the joint. Drylock hydraulic cement is a powder that mixes with water. I mixed it and applied it with a drywall knife, but a small trowel would have been even better. Now, a word of caution is in order here. This stuff sets up, and I mean fast. So mix and apply small batches. The instructions say it will set up in 3 to 5 minutes, and I believe it. The good news is, because it sets up so fast, it will stop active water leaks. The bad news is, because it sets up so fast, you're constantly mixing, applying, and then mixing and applying, on and on. Drylock hydraulic cement also expands as it dries. This expansion locks it in place and fills the gaps. Now, Drylock Extreme is a latex-based product that will seal the pores in masonry so that water cannot penetrate. Drylock works by filling the pores in brick, block, concrete, and mortar joints. It's used on the interior of your basement walls or on exterior surfaces that are above grade. Once sealed, the water stays on the outside of the walls and floors. Now, the water is still in your bricks and mortar, and it's still bearing pressure on the wall from the outside, but it does not penetrate into your interior living space. And if that pressure is high enough, it could cause you water problems down the road, or over time it could potentially cause worse foundation issues. Maybe you don't have water running in your basement like I did, but perhaps it's really humid in your basement. Drylock could help. A coat of good latex paint, for that matter, will also help. How do you know which is the good grade of latex paint? Easy. It costs more. But coating the inside of your walls with a sealer or a good latex paint can make a difference if you're facing humidity issues. Whichever you use, make sure you coat it thoroughly, pressing the paint or sealer down into every pore. In my office, there's 1980s paneling on the wall. You can see in my lost footage video. This paneling is on 1x2 studs. If I have to coat that exterior wall, it's all coming down, studs and all. I want to be able to get the Drylock into every square inch of wall. I want it sealed up like a zip-top bag. One other thing, the area beside my electronics desk and what I call the clean area of the shop is located in the front of the house, and like I showed you on episode 1 of this series, it also had water ingress issues. I did not do anything to this area in the front of the house except to brush on the Drylock Extreme. Now, I can't tell you if all this work paid off, or I could tell you, but I'm not going to. Not until the 4th episode. And don't forget, we found some things in the backyard when we were digging up the new trenches that explains a lot about our water problem. And I want to share that on the 4th video. In that episode, I'm going to tell all. I promise. So I want to thank all you for sticking around and watching this series. There's a lot of information in these 4 episodes that I believe can help you protect your investment. And most of these things you can do yourself. And as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. One more episode to go. Stick around for that. We'll have that ready in a week or 2. As always, thank you. God bless. And we'll see you later.